KMTV Action 3 News live at 10 starts now with breaking news.
And let's get right to that breaking news tonight. An abduction outside an Omaha supermarket. These two babies reportedly recovered just moments ago.
The 8-month-old twin girls, Alexandra and Sophia Lewis, are safe, according to family members. The State Patrol still has an Amber Alert in place. Reporter Nick Starling is live near 30th and Martin with the very latest tonight. Nick.
Craig, Jen, what a wide range of emotions. Just about an hour ago, the family out here were very frightened and worried about those two little girls. But just about 5 minutes ago, the family, all in jubilation, they say that they got a call from their cousins saying that those two girls are safe and sound. They are found sleeping at 33rd and Hartman. The wide range of emotions. Just about 10 minutes ago, the family is holding a prayer circle, trying to plead to God that they'd find the family and found those two little girls safe and sound. And from what the family tells us, they got their wishes tonight. Now, I'll tell you kind of what happened leading up to this. Police say just after 8 o'clock this evening, they were called to the bakers here at 30th Street that the mother was basically put her two little twin girls in the back seat when she was putting groceries in her truck. And that's when she said that a man basically went into the car, drove off with the two little girls inside. Police said that the car vanished, went northbound, and for about 2 hours they were not able to find where the man went. They had Able 1 out here searching for the suspect vehicle with those two little girls inside. This was the emotions. We talked with the mother and to the cousins as well when they just said they just wanted their little babies back.
I was screaming and I was hoping somebody would hear me saying, "My babies are in the car, my babies are in the car." This is gotta be a dream. Gotta be a dream. This is not happening to me.
Come on. Sophia, Alex, whoever got them, please just take them to a closest hospital, church, fire department, anywhere. We just want them back. They're our babies and they're precious and we love them. We need them back. Please, and we are broken right now.
You can just see the raw emotion there. Now, these are the pictures of the two girls that police and Nebraska State Patrol were trying to find. Alexandra and Sophia Lewis, they are twins but not identical. But the good news here is that the family tells us that the two girls are found safe and sound just a few blocks away from here. We'll keep you updated on the story as we get more information as well. But good news here from the family. Reporting live, Nick Starling, KMTV Action 3 News.
All right, we should tell you that we do have a crew on the way to the scene at 33rd and Hartman, where police have recovered those two babies tonight. As Nick pointed out, they are sleeping. They are okay. They are okay. There's a couple of more elements to the story we want to tell you about, of course. They had been looking for a white Volkswagen where a man had jumped in and taken off with these two precious angels inside. And then police put out a person of interest notice, the guy on the right, just between 9:30 and 10 o'clock tonight.
Right, and at this point, we are headed to that other scene. We do not know if this man has been taken into custody or if anyone has been taken into custody. As you heard Nick say, it was about 5 minutes ago, the family got word the babies had been found unharmed. So this is rapidly developing as we go through our newscast. We will continue to bring you updates as we have them, since it is such a developing story tonight.
Keep it right here on KMTV. We will bring you the latest developments as they happen throughout this newscast. Other news tonight, a tremendous show of support, of love for a family that died in a terrible house fire 1 week ago in Nehawka in Cass County.
Elementary school children who went to school with the Spear girls came together at Conestoga Elementary School tonight for a balloon release. Reporter Miranda Christian captured the emotional scene and sounds.
And teach the staff, the students, they definitely have taken it hard, but they're doing a wonderful job on keeping that routine going.
The principal for Conestoga Elementary School says they're slowly getting back to normal after the district lost 3 members. Eric Dennis says counselors have been talking with the students about the loss of the Spears.
A lot of it is this, letting him talk about the girls, letting them talk about Emma Adeline and Ellie and just saying, tell us about them. What are some fun memories you have with them?
On Thursday, the school had their annual Cougar Halloween.
We've had conversations with our kids that kids should never have to have. And for our kids, they need to go on to normal.
To honor the Spear family, the school decided to have a balloon release. PTO mother Allison Welch says these balloons are helping everyone celebrate the lives lost.
And to release our grief with the balloon release, so to kind of let go, that's the way I described it to my children. We're trying to let go of grief and celebrate life and the light that these girls and parents brought to all of us.
She says the kids have been through so much the last week and need to know how to move on.
And this is a village. Murray's a village, right? And they say it takes a village to raise your kids. This is a pretty great village, and we've all learned that in the last week. So.
That was Miranda Christian reporting. We should note she and her crew were driving in Murray, Nebraska tonight, and there were pink ribbons and lights all over town in honor of the Spears. There is a movement to go pink for the Spears this Halloween by putting a pink light on your porch, in fact, all throughout the month of November.
We want to go now back to that breaking news, an update. This is a live picture from 33rd and Hartman. Again, this is the second location. This is where we had heard police found the babies unharmed. Again, there was an Amber Alert tonight for two 8-month-old little girls, twins, who were taken from the bakers while their mom was loading groceries into the car. We had learned moments ago that they had been found safely. Our crew went to the scene, and that is the scene you were seeing the picture of. You can see there was a large police presence, police tape up in that area.
Still a lot of unanswered questions and loose ends to tie up in this story. We can tell you that from about the 9 o'clock hour on, just before airtime here at 10, there was an Amber Alert issued for Alexandra and Sophia Lewis by the Nebraska State Patrol. The 8-month-olds had been abducted from the Baker's parking lot in the Florence neighborhood. Just moments ago, KMTV Action 3 News reporter Nick Starling said that one of the Lewis family members received a phone call from a cousin saying the babies were found, they were sleeping, and they are okay. A couple of questions still remain tonight. What about the car in which they were in? The mother was loading groceries into the trunk earlier tonight when the guy jumped in and took off from the Baker's parking lot. Do they have the car? We'll be interested in finding that out. And what about this man on the right? Between 9:30 and 10 tonight, the Omaha Police Department put out a notice that he was a person of interest in this Amber Alert. We do know that police went inside the Baker's supermarket and had combed through surveillance video from the last couple of hours trying to pinpoint who the person of interest might be, who the man might be who jumped in that white Volkswagen and took off with the two babies inside. We do not know at this point if he is a suspect, if they have a suspect, or what the situation is with the man who took off in the car. But we do know the main point as you look live at 33rd and Hartman, and this is the big takeaway, the 8-month-old twin girls who had been missing for nearly 2 hours tonight, Alexandria and Sophia Lewis, are safe. The investigation continues.
We're learning more tonight about the man killed in an explosion and fire at an ethanol plant near Council Bluffs. Authorities say 61-year-old Kenneth Crumwhitey of Walt Hill, Nebraska, died Sunday. Earlier this month, his truck caught fire at Southwest Iowa Renewable Energy. Visitation will be Monday night with a memorial service Tuesday, both at Trinity Lutheran Church in Walt Hill.
New at 10 on KMTV, police are looking for 3 men suspected of breaking into cars in Bellevue. Surveillance video shows them going through the cars, then back to their truck on 41st Avenue between Southern Hills Drive and Valley View Ave. Take a look at this around 2 this morning. Many of the car owners are still trying to figure out exactly what they stole.
Convicted Creighton killer Anthony Garcia will be back in court tomorrow. The same jury which found him guilty yesterday will decide if there are aggravating factors needed for him to face the death penalty. Douglas County Attorney Don Klein says the case shows why the state needs the death penalty. We asked early voters about the case's impact.
It could be some. It didn't influence me since I was already for it, but I can see where it could. The magnitude of the crimes, the heinous acts.
Many voters we talked to said they are more worried about the wording of the ballot measure. If you are against the death penalty and want to keep the execution ban passed last year by the legislature, vote retain. If you are in favor of the death penalty, vote appeal.
A bill named after a young Council Bluffs woman killed by a suspected drunk driver, undocumented immigrant, created controversy during a Western Iowa congressional debate.
It's hard for me to believe that he wouldn't support Sarah's law, because I didn't hear him answer a yes or no on that.
As I said, we need to fix our immigration system.
It's a bipartisan bill.
We have to pass comprehensive immigration reform.
Wow.
The Farm Bureau, the Chamber of Commerce.
Here's what you're seeing. Democratic challenger Jim Maurer there on the left and Republican Congressman David Young battled over the proposed Sarah's law. It would allow immigration officials to take custody of undocumented immigrants facing serious criminal charges. It's inspired by the crash that killed Sarah Root. The suspect, Eswin Mejia, took off after a relative posted bond. Young and Omaha Congressman Brad Ashford have sponsored the bill.
You call 911 and hope emergency responders spring into action and send help.
But as we saw in a double murder last February, pinpointing a cell phone call is sometimes inaccurate. Next, our investigation into the urgent need for 911 upgrades to keep you and your family safe.
And it was much warmer today with afternoon high temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, even a couple of spots managing to make it to 80 degrees. We have more 80s on the way for tomorrow, maybe even flirting with some record high temperatures.
Hey, it's Todd and Tyler from Z92.
Freakers Ball 2016 is coming up Friday, October 28th.
It's the hottest Halloween party in the city.
Join us at DoubleTree by Hilton Omaha downtown.
Tickets are only $30, so get your tickets now at Z92.com.
KMTV-3 and the Nebraska Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Foundation invite you to the inaugural Nebraska Hispanic Leadership Diversity and Inclusion Conference, Friday, November 4th at UNO's Barbara White's Community Engagement Center. Visit NHLDIconference.com to register.
Today, we're talking about automotive awards. What if I told you there was a car company that received all of these awards?
One company won an award in all these? Chevy.
Chevrolet is the most awarded car company of the last 2 years.
I love it. It's fierce.
Blown away by that. So I'm just going to stay in here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Find your tag and get over $9,900 total value on this Tahoe LT. See your Heartland Chevy dealers.
I'm not running for Congress to represent any political party.
But when he got to Washington...
Sure, I voted for Nancy Pelosi.
Ashford turned on us. Voted with Pelosi 3 times to release terrorists from Gitmo. Voted with her twice to protect sanctuary cities where terrorists can hide and wait. Votes with Pelosi nearly 80% of the time. Brad Ashford, caving to Pelosi, risking our security. The NRCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Jim Maurer's agenda will hurt the economy and kill jobs. Maurer supported Obamacare. That killed hundreds of jobs in Iowa. What's worse, Maurer supports oppressive EPA regulations that will increase electric bills for families, farmers, and small businesses. Jim Maurer even supports the death tax, punishing struggling small businesses and farmers. Jim Maurer, job-killing regulations, higher taxes. Iowa can't afford Jim Maurer. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Action 3 News Mobile Storm Tracker, powered by Jensen Tire and Auto.
When you call 911, you expect emergency responders to find you quickly and help. Sometimes just minutes can mean the difference between life and death. But in reality, it's much more complicated.
Cell phone technology advances during the last 20 years have 911 centers struggling to keep up. In February, it took first responders nearly 40 minutes to find John Edwards after he called saying someone shot him and was holding him and others hostage. His phone pinged near 150th and Blondo. When they found the house near 140th and Burdett, they found Kenneth Clark had killed John and Jason Edwards. Then after an 11-hour standoff, he killed himself. Now there's work to improve locating efforts. Reporter Miranda Christian looks at what's being done right here in Nebraska.
We have so much technology with our cell phones. We have apps and games that track where we are 24/7. So why, when I call 911, can't they find my exact location, especially when in certain situations it's a matter of life or death?
911, can you please fire medical? Fire.
stay on the line. Do not hang up.
In Douglas County, the 911 center received over 530,000 calls in 2015. 75% of those were from cell phones. That's about the number of people who live in Omaha, all calling from their mobile device.
The information that we get from cell phones is, at best, maybe 50% accurate.
The way that we communicate and the devices that we use is so different now than it was even 10 years ago.
Crystal Rhodes with the Public Service Commission says there are efforts to make 911 location services better.
This will impact people's lives, and if we aren't able to find you, we cannot help you.
Efforts that would help prevent situations like this one in February, where it took nearly 40 minutes to find a standoff in northwest Omaha.
911.
Nebraska is looking at upgrading their whole 911 system to next generation 911. It would allow callers to text 911. Callers would be able to send pictures or video, and the accuracy of the call could be based on Wi-Fi.
So now what's happening and will take place over the next few years is that your phone will be actually interacting with the environment that it is in.
CEO of the National Emergency Numbers Association, Brian Fonts, says the need to advance accuracy technology is a must, but it's not going to happen overnight.
There will always likely be a range. That range may be reduced to just a matter of meters or feet.
911, do you need police, fire, or medical?
When 911 operators don't have the most accurate location provided to them, they have to rely on other methods.
And what's going on there?
And even then, they may only get a couple hundred meters away.
This is what we've been facing for the last 10 or 12 years, and it puts a tremendous strain on the operators. The only degree of certainty we have is having the caller know where they're at.
Douglas County Interim 911 Director Mark Connery says next generation will be a great update, but Douglas County has already been dealing with issues with text to 911. Apps are being created and those are relaying wrong locations and in some cases multiple locations. And a dispatcher has to decide where to send help.
We don't even know who designed the apps, and so we are so vulnerable.
Commissioner Rhodes says that there will need to be some sort of regulation standards for Next Gen to work, but it's imperative Nebraska updates their system to provide the best service.
Okay, we'll have an officer go over there and check it out.
What we need, though, is to, as a community, to make the commitment, to make the investment needed so that we can get the information that we need to find you when you're in trouble.
In Omaha, Miranda Christian, KMTV Action 3 News.
In fact, there's a study going on right now looking at how much Next Generation will cost and the amount of training required. The Nebraska State Commission and Legislature will use that information to put together a plan for the future. Locating victims is not the only challenge for 911 dispatchers in Nebraska. Last year alone, they dealt with more than 50 outages of the system itself.
It can impact cell phones, it can impact landlines, it can impact both. It depends on who cut the cable, where they cut it.
Reporter Miranda Christian will look at what experts are doing to prevent the lines from being cut. Watch her special report tomorrow on KMTV Action 3 News, live at 10.
Now, your weather alert forecast.